Okay, so a lot's going on in Solana, and let's break it down with a couple of interesting NFTs being talked about right now. The last one has a potential to be basically a blue chip. But first, let's start off with Yukio. Okay, so Yukio basically minted out a couple of days ago, and boy did it rise. And look at this art, man. I just love it. I think it's really cool. And the reason why is because it really pops out from everything else. And I can see why so many people enjoy this. And of course, there has been a lot of hype behind Yukio when it minted out. And one of the reasons is because, again, it's the art. So if you look at here in Hello Moon, you could see that it popped off around 9 Sol, and that's when right after the mint, and then it finally started to come back down. Now, unique owners has dropped off as well from 2,834 to 2,790. So that is personally not a great sign, but social sentiment is still pretty decent, as you can see, and it seems to have finally cooled down. Now, we can see right here again, unique owners 2,834, and the max was 2,917. And if you go back, you get to see that the social sentiment is still pretty big. Smart money inflow Yukio, and total social buying is Yukio. So it's gone up 8%, and I mean, it'll probably still go up to 10 Sol around there. But one thing is that the roadmap did come out, and when the roadmap came out, I couldn't really scream bullish because it essentially is more for community, for artists, content creators, which is cool. But the main thing is that it went from basically 9 Sol to 5 Sol. And if you look at Kikiverse, it's another project that's, I would say, almost similar to this. Kikiverse is creating a project based on a watch to earn model, and it already has a high production type of system already for their NFTs. And Kikiverse is at 2 Sol, as you can see here. It's at 2 Sol, and it's doing more than what Yukio's doing. But Yukio, it just started, and I think Yukio is going to level off probably to 4 Sol, and I'm hoping 3 Sol. Now, I'm not funning. What I am doing is I'm trying to figure out the right valuation to get in Yukio with less risk. That is it. So as far as valuation, I don't see it unless more bullish news comes out. Now, I do love the art, and just by the art, this thing could explode because it happens a lot in NFTs. There's influencers who like it, who buy it, another influencer buys it, art, and then the sweep starts coming, and then it'll cool off because then people will start realizing, okay, maybe it's not just the art. There probably needs to be more utility behind it. So I'm just gonna stay off it for a bit, but there are people who are bullish in this project, and one of them is Justin. I respect him a lot. I suggest you guys follow him. He makes great calls, and he made calls from Primates, he made calls from Liberty Square, OK Bears. I even have him on my notice, and as you can see, he basically here said, really like this art, doing more research, but everything so far is pointing towards this project doing really well. So remember, he also is doing more research before going balls deep in the project. So he did buy a couple, but great person to basically look at and see what he's doing. I do enjoy his content. So again, I'm looking at getting into this around at 3 Sol. Okay, so the next thing is Liberty Square. I don't know if you guys have heard of Liberty Square, but I did buy one at 10 Sol. I am eager to sell it at 15 Sol, and it's already moving upwards. It's already getting there, and you can see that there is hype finally happening. And right here, you can see when it was at 2 Sol, and this is actually when Justin actually bought it. This is how I actually knew about it. And then it started exploding here, and then I bought it, and it's going up. So why is it going up? Well, there's some news that there's a new PFP coming out. They have a secret product coming out, and the PFP update is actually pretty cool. And I do enjoy the new PFP update, or at least what it looks like. And as you can see right here, it definitely looks different than what it is. What they have right now is not PFPable. This, I think there is a scroll behind it, but I am curious to see how all the other PFPs are going to come out. But overall, I could see this thing reaching 20 Sol for this project. Now, on another note, I think many people are also wondering who else is bullish on this, and believe it or not, it's Frank the Gods. Frank the Gods has been looking at this project as well. Even when it minted, he posted. So you can see right here, Frank said just max minted 8 Liberty Squares, has spent countless time talking to him on Twitter Spaces, and then he retweeted again, betting on people makes life easy, September 20. Definitely, I am going to try to sell this at some point at 20. If the FOMO seems like it's dying at around that point, yeah, for sure. Okay, so the next thing, Trust Labs. Trust Labs is something that has been coming out recently in the news. And to start this off, it's a creative studio. It's basically a self-funded venture this year, and they are professionals from the Web 2 and Web 3 that aim to build an ultimate Solana network. And by creating basically an Avengers team for this ecosystem. So here's the list of things that they will basically run through. The first thing is the team check. The next thing is capital. And the next thing is expertise. And the fourth thing is what they say street credit. Okay, so the first thing, team checks. In this portion, they will basically have a curation of a team from artists to community managers, influencers, alpha hunters, collab managers to make it resemble your project, your brand. The second part of this is that they can give capital to your project, almost like a round of cash for a startup project. So you can be successful by hiring some great artists or developers or get your project going. But third thing is the expertise, where they have veteran players that can give market insights and how the project could be healthy in certain cycles of the market to mint it. So they have their expert group as well. Now, the fourth thing is the street credit, which basically means how to prove a project is credible. And they have connections that could potentially help boost the project's credibility. It's almost like a stamp, a notary on documents saying this is good to go, credit it, boom. And then other people see like, wow, this is actually official. These guys are great. The main benefit as of right now is getting airdrops from project collections. They are partnered up with Blocksmith Labs, Multi-Chain Advisors, Cheddar Block Games. The core team is made up of Dr. Solana, NFT, who surprisingly actually likes K-pop. I think he's a K-pop artist from what he says. And he does love Dust. You also have at Jacob/Soul, who is the co-founder of Trust Labs. And you have Tegan, who is the NFT artist and dev. But besides that, they have a huge team of partner alliances and councils, legal and medical. So to break this down, Trust Labs, they have their DAO, which is a community. And basically the most intriguing thing for me is the one-on-one arts that will be being airdropped from collections and made and launched by Trust Labs. So as you can see, I review NFT projects before they launch. Some do well and some do not. And it was because something was lacking, like utility, communication, Discord, your Twitter team. So what Trust Labs is doing is that they are basically creating an Avengers team to help you succeed. That's like the short term of what I'm talking about here. And let's look at Magic Eden here on how they are performing right now. This team has exploded. You can see right here, they grew up from 10 SOL to 44 SOL. And it's just been hyped around right now on Twitter. What I'm showing here is the process of patience, because Trust Labs, eventually the hype will die. And when the hype dies, this thing will clearly drop down probably to 30, maybe even 20. And I personally think that it'll probably drop back down to 15. So sometimes these things do stay leveled, but many times when I am patient, things go down. Every project I've looked at has gone down 50% from the hype. So I think eventually this will go back down. It's not like anybody can create this. I mean, people can create it. There's really, one could say that there's no moat. It's a group of people who are helping projects build and create their own NFT project, which, one could say anyone can do. And probably, yeah, if people really put work into it, they can. So it's not like a software company where it's hard to replicate. But again, we'll see how this plays out. Now, on to the next thing. Let's talk about ABCs. First off, disclosure, I have 6 ABCs and it's my highest conviction play, not financial advice. What is ABC? It's a project created by HCSO with whales from OpenDAO and Ethereum, like Crypto Dino, Roar XPT, Don't Sell Your Soul. And on another note, it has always established sub-DAOs, which is quite quick. Like ABC Ventures, for them, if you hold 50 plus ABCs, you become a part of this venture, whatever they do. You have Spaceboy DAO, whose mission is to spread ABC magic. And then you have Naughty Cats, and just more and more are coming out. And the benefits for this is that it is immutable, and I will explain what immutable is. There are already things like a community created on Twitter. It's called ABC123 community. They have been airdrops, community airdrops, benefits from hyperspace, which is a marketplace, a great marketplace. BitBroil Gaming has came out with their own thing with ABCs. You have Lunar Project NFT coming out that's connected to this. You got 123 from HateSwap also, which is a layer that allows an ecosystem of an NFT collection to interact with one another, which is, sounds pretty cool. What is HateSwap? ABC is connected to HateSwap. HG Soul statement basically says it will be linked to the performance of HateSwap, meaning that you'll be rewarded if HateSwap is doing great. HateSwap is again built on the top of ABC. So just like this, total NFT projects market cap 1.1 billion. One centralized exclusive custody marketplace makes 2% on these NFTs worth 1.6 billion. If you don't see the issue here, I can't help you anymore. If these money would be distributed to creators and holders, it will make NFT space really flourish. This is about caring for the ecosystem more than caring about our own bags. This project looks really interesting. I really like what he's doing with ABC and HateSwap. The nodes for HateSwap will come out soon. We don't know when. We don't know when this will go live, but I am buying a bunch of ABCs and as much as I can before this happens. Now, the one thing that he did mention that this is immutable. What is an immutable NFT? Well, it's a decentralized NFT, which means no one can change your PFP or creator fees. There is nothing that can be done because there is no team, no dev creating staking mechs, no dilution, no second collection. And the way you can tell if it's immutable is past the mint address on SolScan. So let me show you real quick how you do that. So in order to see what's immutable, you will go here. Let's say ABC. You got ABC right here. You want to know if it's immutable. Well, the first thing you could do is actually see what the mint address is. So the mint address is right here. You'll copy this and you'll copy it to SolScan. And actually here they make it easier where you can just click on there and then it'll take it to the SolScan and then boom, not immutable. There you go. It says it right there where you can see that the NFT project is not mutable. So it will show you that. And there are other projects like DJ and Apes that shows that it's not mutable. Now projects that are mutable, you can see that they are. And so let's just see an example right here. Let's look at OK Bears and see what it says. And I guarantee you it's not immutable, just like majority of the collections. Let's see right here. Boom. It doesn't say anything right here. Mutable, mutable, not mutable. There you go. That's the difference. That's how you check it. I hope you learned something new. That is a wrap on ABCs and why I am bullish on it. And I put about $8,000, $9,000 because 6 ABCs would be, I got 6 of them, 48 times 6. 288 SOL that I pretty much put down for ABCs. And I believe they will go up to 80 SOL or 100 SOL. So let's just look at the math here. 288 times 30, $8,640. And I think they will go to 100 SOL times 6. Okay, 600 SOL times 30. Yeah, a 2x, $18,000, about maybe a $10,000 profit if I do get this right, and we'll see. Now, I am thinking about exiting if this thing does go down to 20 SOL. We'll see how things play here, and yeah, that'll be my one big trade. Not financial advice. This is my own thing that I'm doing. Always do your own research, so just make sure of that. But anyways, if you enjoyed this content, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, and hit that bell, and peace.